Hi there. So, I'd like to talk to you a little bit more about menopause today and moving beyond menopause, how we can ease the symptoms of menopause and, of course, improve our quality of life and maximize our health moving forward. So there are so many things to talk about. There's so many ways that we can improve our health and get stronger and healthier as we age and really offset the intense symptoms of menopause. But none of it is going to work if we don't get this one thing sorted out first. And that one thing is, of course, sleep. I can't tell you, when I started waking up at 3 in the morning, I didn't know what was happening and I didn't know why it was happening. And I think a lot of women during this stage of life are really trying to figure out why we can't sleep or why we can't stay asleep, why our mind is racing, why do we have anxiety in the middle of the night. And, I was never really an anxious person, I don't think, growing up. Maybe I was, but the anxiety that I experienced during menopause was like next level. And I don't think I'm alone. I'm pretty sure, in fact, I know I'm not alone. And so I wanted to just talk to you a little bit about what's going on, because I didn't understand what was going on. I knew that menopause was causing my anxiety, but I didn't understand what was behind it all. So let's just talk about that, and then I'm going to talk to you about one of many solutions, but one thing that I think we can do right away that helps a lot. And you probably, well, maybe you do know already. Maybe you don't, maybe you do. I don't know, but I'm going to share it. So what did I learn? Well, what I found out was that estrogen decline impacts so many things, and 3 things that are really important here that are related to what this topic is all about in sleep is that as estrogen declines, our cortisol levels go up because estrogen actually manages our cortisol levels. It keeps everything in check. So it helps with our anxiety and that whole fight or flight thing. The second thing is that estrogen impacts the production of GABA and serotonin and even melatonin. So those are really important when it comes to our mood and our well-being, mental well-being, and our sleep. And then the third thing, last but not least, is that estrogen decline impacts the bioavailability of magnesium. So it turns out that estrogen impacts magnesium levels. And magnesium is super important when it comes to managing anxiety and tension and insomnia or sleep quality and even muscle cramping. If you haven't noticed, I know I started to experience cramping in my calves. So those are some things to really notice, some things that we really can identify. These things are happening because of estrogen decline. And while I talk a lot about phytonutrients and diet and food that is rich in phytoestrogens, these are really important, and they're not today's topic. Today I want to talk to you about magnesium because it is something that we can easily improve in our diet and will make a huge difference. And I encourage you, if you're not already, to start thinking, maybe have a chat with your doctor about this first, because I'm not a doctor, but chat with your doctor about the potential of taking a magnesium supplement. I take my magnesium glycinate, and I like that because it really is bioavailable magnesium, and it really makes a big difference when it comes to my sleep and managing my anxiety for sure. I used to use a brand called Calm, and it was just a magnesium citrate, but now they have a version of that is the magnesium glycinate. So talk to your doctor, see if that's something that you could incorporate if you haven't already. So the next really important thing to talk about is what are the foods that are rich in magnesium that you can be consuming. And there are lots of them, but I'm just going to share some that I obviously advocate because I love them. I keep them in my own diet. And what I will say to you ahead of time is that it's really important not to get caught up in a diet mentality, which is something I really, really focus on when I work with clients. We want to get away from counting calories, weighing and measuring food, and being hyper-focused on the amounts and things like that. So when it comes to these things, just try to add them in. So anyway, magnesium-rich foods. Pepitas or pumpkin seeds are number one. They're off the charts, rich in magnesium. Also nuts like cashews and almonds and peanuts. Also ground flax and ground chia, also great sources. I say ground because they're more bioavailable. The nutrients are more bioavailable if they are ground. Sometimes chia can just go right through you. Quinoa is another one. Avocado, potatoes, black beans, edamame, which I love because it's rich in magnesium. It's also rich in phytoestrogens. What else? Spinach, collard greens. There are lots of things. You can look it up. You can see what other great sources of magnesium-rich foods there are out there. There are lots of them. So it gives you a little taster. I hope that helps you. And if you need extra support in managing anxiety, you can always hug a horse. Take care.